Hey guys, this is Real Appalachia with Shane
and Melody.
And today we have a very special video from Tazewell County, my home county, but not just my home county.
Your hometown.
My hometown.
Yes.
The Richlands.
Yeah, that's right.
Only.
Yeah. So we are going to get on the road. This is going to be a long video because these hometowns, they hit hard for us, you know.
I know, and then you feel like you still try to cut it short, you know how it is.
Yeah, but we hope that you like it. We hope that you love it.
Yes.
So we hope you'll give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.
All right, let's get on the road and make it happen.
Let's do it.
Well, we are on the outskirts of Richlands, but it's impossible to not mention Cousins, which is to the left there.
Yes.
It is world-renowned, famous locally, and you have to show that even though it's not really in Richlands.
Right.
Well, we're not quite in Richlands yet.
Not quite.
Start this to build anticipation, right?
Right.
But it's also, you know, you can't say you've been to Richlands if you haven't been to some of these places.
Yeah. And Richlands is one of those places, where does it really begin and where does it really end? You know, with Claypool Hill and Dorian and Raven, all the lines are kind of blurred. Cedar Bluff.
Well, they kind of feed into Richlands High School, which matters too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of loyalty there, but
so also, we might as well just jump right into it.
And Richlands is where your heart's at.
That's right.
We'll do a more in-depth look at Claypool Hill, Cedar Bluff on a separate video at some point.
Yeah.
But we got to show some of it now to give you the gist of it.
That's right.
Like Green Hills Memory Gardens over here to the left. I have a lot of family buried up there. And then here's the Claypool Hill Mall.
Yes.
And then let's put a Starbucks in Food City. I don't know if you knew that.
I did.
Oh, well, then I didn't break any news for you.
Nope.
Some of that.
And there's Pizza Plus.
Pizza Plus, which unfortunately is notorious for murders that happened there a few years back.
Yeah.
I actually knew those people.
So sad.
Yeah. They came into the bank and nice, salt-of-the-earth people. You'd never dream something like that.
I think that happened my senior year of high school, and it was just so fearful. I mean, I think all along everybody kind of knew who it was, but too, it was kind of fearful of, you know, what if it wasn't? What if it was a random thing? Like,
because you don't know till it's solved.
Yeah, and just the killer being out on the loose was scary too.
Yeah, the cops can't really, tell you anything because they can't, and so there's just not a lot of peace until it's solved.
Yeah, exactly.
We're coming up on the cuts. This must have been an outrageous, expensive maneuver to put this road through here.
Yes.
So there's a sign for Cedar Bluff.
Turn down right, go into Cedar Bluff.
Yes. Beautiful little town. And here's the cuts.
Yeah.
Boy, you talk about slick. In the winter, this place can get slick. Black ice. I don't know how many fatal accidents have happened here.
I hit a big rock that had tumbled down in my mom's new car and busted her tire one time. Yeah, it was bad.
Know this. This is breaking news.
Yeah, it was bad.
There's the Cedar Bluff Overlook.
Yes, and the park up there.
Park, and they have the POW MIA
Memorial. Yeah. Yeah, Overlook is a rough hike, but it's a pretty overlook.
Buddy, it is steep as a horse's face. It's
Oh,
about
it
like
is.
climbing a ladder. It's
Yeah.
I've never
Steep.
get to the top and take me 20 minutes to get my breath back.
Yeah.
It's a place to get yourself a speeding ticket through here too.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Cops love to just sit on the tuck away here and
They do.
slap one on you. Now, at some point, we're probably back in Richlands. I don't really getting close.
Where does that begin and where does that end?
It's wherever in your heart.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yep. So the land that was Richlands was originally settled with a Native American village, like much of the area around here. But as late as 1775, it was kind of like an outpost for pioneers to stop by. So protection and that kind of thing. But it wasn't until 1892 that Richlands was incorporated as a town.
Now it says we're 2 miles away.
But now I feel like we're actually in
Yeah,
Richlands.
I do too. So it's confusing. Even
Yeah.
to Richlandians.
There is the Ernie Hicks Stadium.
Home of state champions. We'll get into that later though.
Yeah. Blue Tornadoes.
Tornadoes.
And being from Honaker, a nearby town, we have heard a lot about those state championships. Y'all just love to brag, don't
There's a lot
ya?
of talk about that. They didn't have the best season this year, but it's a rebuilding
Yeah.
year. They'll be back.
Yeah.
They'll be back.
Man, when I was in high school, Richlands was untouchable. I mean,
They're hated. They're like the
huge.
New England Patriots. People hate them because they win.
well, I don't know about
Now, we'll just
that.
have to agree to disagree on that, but I'm from Richlands.
I don't know about that.
You're not going to get me to bend on that one. Now, here's
Yeah.
officially the corporate limits, but
Yes.
like you said, it felt like Richlands 2 miles.
Where does it really begin and end? Yeah. Richlands was once touted as the Pittsburgh of the South.
I had a nickel for every town. That
I
was
know. We've talked about that before. There's
Yeah.
been a lot of towns. But it was very prominent with railroad and the rich land.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it actually got its name.
And there was plans to develop it, much larger than what it is now, but it just didn't come to fruition for various reasons.
Yeah.
A couple of depression times, and one of the earlier depressions before the Great Depression was knocked some of those plans out.
And a lot of people that come in from outside pronounce it as Richlands.
Oh, yeah. And that's,
But we know it as Richlands because, like I said, it was said the Richlands of both sides of the upper fork of the Clinch River.
yeah, if you want to paint yourself an outsider, call it Richlands.
Yep.
Well, no, you ain't
We'll
from
know
here.
fast.
You ain't from here.
That's right.
Boy, if I had a nickel for every time I've driven this road, I'd never have to drive again.
Between that and the Pittsburgh of the South comment,
Yeah,
I mean, you
I've
have
got a
all
lot of
kinds of nickels.
Oh, gosh.
I know.
To the left, coming up here, it used to be a drive-in movie theater. You could see it from the road. You could see that their movie was playing. Obviously, you couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
But then they had a little pool there, too.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And from what I remember, it was called Guys Drive In and Dive In, which is
Oh
so
my
funny.
gosh, that is neat.
Yeah, I remember people swimming and all kinds of stuff down there. But when I was very, very young, that went away. They done pretty much filled in that pool. And
So could you swim and watch a movie at the same time?
I would think not. I don't think they had lights on it, but maybe I'm wrong. Somebody correct me.
Well, if you like night swim,
Well, let's try.
I would really like floating on a float and watching a movie.
Well,
That's a really good idea.
That's a great idea. It needs to come back.
Somebody needs to bring it back. Yeah.
Melodies Drive In and Dive In. Right back here in
Yeah.
Richlands. We're back.
Drive in and dive in.
But that was,
Yeah.
I would hope somebody knows different. I hope they tell me because that would have been great.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Was night swimming a thing back then?
Well, that's what I'm wondering too.
Yeah.
Things are so conventional. But we're fixing to drive into Lake Park. Now, as we turn into Lake Park, the first thing you'll notice is there's no lakes there. There used to be, though.
Really?
Yeah, but then it wasn't called Lake Park. It
Oh.
was called Lick Lock.
Lick lot?
Lick Lock. That's
Oh.
funny because I would say 90% of the people call it Lick Lot, just like you did, but it's Lick Lock. And
Yeah.
it got that name from cattle would come by and it would lick the locks of salt.
Oh my gosh, how
Yeah.
cool.
So it's lick lock, but I swear 90% of people call it lick lot,
Yeah.
which I did too when I was little.
I had never heard that though, but when you said it, it sounded like lick lot.
Well,
Yeah.
that's my country accent for you too. But that was, my brother lived down here for a while, my uncle, and all kinds of good people.
Yeah.
And this right here, if I'm not mistaken, to the right, where this park is, well, I might as well drive there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wanting to think that's where the water was.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. It's kind of more
Yeah.
deep.
They kind of dammed it up, and there used to be all kinds of like races and all kinds of stuff that went on down here. And then that was all gone. Lick lock. I called it lick lock.
Yeah.
Lick lock was long gone by the time I got come of age, but they used to practice baseball and all kinds of stuff down here.
Yeah, it seems like a good little area for that.
It used to have more stuff. It's gone. It used to have like some playground equipment and all that kind of stuff. It had those slides that would burn your tail. You know what I'm talking about? The metal
Oh,
ones?
yeah, the middle ones.
Yeah.
Slide right off of there. Christmas coming up, it makes me think of Christmas Vacation where he sprayed like the Pam on the metal.
Oh, yeah.
Paint. Yeah.
This was the world's slowest construction job on this house right here. I mean, I'm telling you, it was like half my lifetime.
The brick one.
Yeah, that one right there, and it's
Yeah.
been changed hands several times. And so, which of course
really pretty.
starts rumors of hauntings and all this stuff.
Ah.
Yeah. Beautiful house, though.
Yeah, it is.
And there is
Population of Richlands is about 5,200 as of 2019.
Okay.
Interesting, right?
Well, I can see that. It sounds about right.
Well, and when you think about like actual town limits and that kind of thing, because I would have thought it may have been more, but
Yeah, it does not include Dorian and
yeah,
like we talked about Cedar
Claypool
Bluff,
Hill, Cedar Bluff, yeah.
all those feed into it. So
And now Southwest Virginia Community College is on the 4-lane, but I've always said that that was in Richlands. Like,
yeah,
what is that? You know,
yeah. It's
another one of those things.
well, I don't, that's a really complicated one because it could be Wardell, it could be that's all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff.
True.
But anyway, now
Anyways.
as we go each side, I'll talk more about these. But there's the hospital. Now I remember there was an old hospital here
I used to work here.
at this one. So you
Yes.
worked for Clinch Valley.
Yes, I did.
I was born in the old hospital. The doctor was
Cool.
Dr. McHugh. Now,
Aw.
ask me how I remember him. I've got that. My memory's just that good. My
Uh-huh.
first memory of life was Dr. McHugh.
Oh my gosh. I don't believe that at
Okay,
all.
that may not be true. But I was here when this thing was first reopened,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a country singer named Sylvia.
Yeah?
She was here, and it was kind of a big deal. She sang, and I'm sure you may have not heard this stuff, but she had a song called Snapshot. Step for the snapshot.
I think I have,
She
yeah.
had some pretty good songs. But I met her, and I was a basket
Cool.
case. I was about, 10 or 11 years old.
More so than now?
No, about the same.
Oh, okay.
About the same. We're about to hit out of Richlands, but I got to turn around somewhere, and might as well because Dorian is really where I'm from.
See, I always thought of Silver Spur as being like Richlands. And
Well, it
like
might
at the top
be,
of the
because,
hill, Dorian.
Well, my family was right here. I mean, it's literally right
On
here.
the line.
There's Baker Holler, infamous Baker Holler.
So you're from Dorian Top.
I'm from Dorian Top, not bottom.
Yeah.
I always said that. Here's Pete's Tank and Tommy, and but now Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic. And this used to be Pete's Autos or something, and it was a little car lot back when I was a kid, and a guy named Pete Richardson owned it. He got killed in a plane crash, and that was one of the horrible things that happened through here, yeah. There's a
See,
couple
now
things.
this says Dorian.
Yeah, but where my parents live, which is back up the road, the Richlands doesn't take care of it, and it's lumped in as Dorian. So.
Oh.
Alrighty, and we just reversed course.
Mm-hmm.
We
We had to show the hilltop.
Yeah, you got to show the hilltop, the infamous hilltop.
Why have they painted it recently?
I think they were trying to sell it or do something with it.
I don't think it helped.
No. Just a drive in there at one time, and I'm pretty sure it's where my mom and dad met.
The hilltop has a rough reputation.
Why are you hating on the hilltop for? What the
You
hilltop?
know it does.
What did the hilltop ever do to you?
It has a rough reputation, man.
Does anybody know better than me? I lived literally, I could throw a rock and hit the place. And if I did, I would
I'm
have.
sure that's why you know.
I was. They're pretty nefarious
Yeah.
things went on there, but
Yeah. Over there was a medical center, and it looks like it's completely down and out. And that McDonald's to the right, it was McDonald's, and then it was Happy
Family,
Happy
Chinese
Family,
restaurant.
yeah.
And it had the little caboose where my son's went his first birthday
We
party.
went to many a birthday party there.
Now, believe it or not, over in that area too, at one time, I'm gonna drive down through there. Why not?
Yeah, we need to go over the mall.
Yeah. One time, the Little League field was back in there. Believe it or not.
Yeah?
And then there was a factory here called Eastern Isles, and almost every woman in town, it seemed like, worked here. But now it's the Richlands Mall.
Yes.
And I remember when it first opened too. I remember going to Rose's and getting scared to death I'd get lost.
Yeah. I remember walking back and forth through the Richlands Mall. It was hopping for a while, and it had a movie theater. I watched many a movie there.
I did too.
Yeah, I remember I watched the first Scream movie. That was probably my first big horror movie that I watched in a movie theater. Watched it here.
I was thinking Indiana Jones, and I think of Star Wars and some of those things that I
Oh,
watched.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty, what you see before you here is the old swinging bridge. Now this is just a throwback for folks locally who will appreciate this one. It's pretty rough shape these days, but it's one of those Easter egg landmarks that a lot of people not from here don't know, but most of your locals will know exactly where this place is.
And Grant's is where Kroger used to be?
Yeah, used to be Kroger.
Mm-hmm.
I remember here, there was an optician place here where Sandy's says there's either.
Subway and CVS, they're two things that's holding strong,
That's right. They are.
Or is the Subway still here?
Subway is.
I remember Joyce Fashion
Oh,
was
yeah.
there for years, where Little Town Outlet is now.
Yeah, there's a Black Gold Arcade, and then there was the theater you were talking about, then Joyce Fashion, then there's the Subway. There was one time there was a ice cream place. I don't think it's Baskin Robbins. And then Rose's. I mean,
Rose's
it's
is iconic.
It is. It's like a
Hair and a biscuit. It's hanging in there.
I was about to call it a redwood tree, but you call it a hair and a biscuit, and that's probably more appropriate.
Yep. And believe it or not, that Dollar General hadn't always been there.
Well, there was a Little Caesars one time, and there's a good shot of the Clinch Valley Medical Center, dead
Yep.
on in all its glory up on the
Yep.
hill.
I worked there. Enjoyed my time working there.
Did you?
Had some good friends I worked with. Yep.
That was good. Here's Gethsemane Baptist, and here he is. Ramey, but it used to be Jack Sykes. And then before that it was, well, I don't know that it was in this location, but there was Simmons Chevrolet, believe it or not.
Huh.
Walt Simmons owned it, a great uncle of mine.
And unfortunately, rest in peace, Shoney's.
Oh no, even the building's gone.
Oh
It
no.
was the world's biggest fraud. With
Well,
them
they're
claiming
they're remodeling
Yeah,
it.
that's all
They're
it
coming
is.
back bigger and better,
Yeah. Well, it's been going on for what, about 10 years now?
at least.
They had that sign up for a ridiculous amount of time.
Yes. I was always paranoid here that I'd get stuck on the railroad tracks.
I've seen it happen.
I know. You always hear the stories. That's one reason I was so scared.
Yeah, not as many trains go by, obviously, as there used to be back in
Yeah.
the boom time for coal.
Yep.
And Virginia Dump Bodies was over there to the right, and believe it or not, this empty space straight in front of us, where the red light is, there used to be Southwest Supply was here, and that whole building has been raised and made into a turn.
Talking about the hospital, there was Maddie Williams before.
Yeah, we'll drive by where that was at.
Okay,
The
cool.
new town hall, there's Stadano. It's a crane operation.
Japanese company,
Yeah.
right?
Now, this is a big part of Richlands' history. That's where I told you where the drive-in theater was. There was Mullins Ford was here, and prior to that, there were several different car lots that were there. There was a Suzuki, I think it was Cole Suzuki, and then, I mean, just all manner of things, and that all got demolished and put up with all these fast food places. And there's King Kong, which we'll go back by here
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
And here is the King Kong. Man, this was an institution for decades.
Oh, I know. It's making my mouth water for some ice cream right now.
Oh gosh, I know them.
And best hot dogs, from what I hear. I don't really eat hot dogs.
Do you
but-
not?
No, not really.
they had the
Never
foot-
now and then, but
Had the foot-long hot dogs, and man, they were just amazing. And I always got chili buns though,
yeah, I love chili buns. Those are good.
and peanut butter milkshake.
Oh yeah.
What I wouldn't
Some
do
good
to
stuff.
have one more.
I know.
It just sums up about hometowns. You know, you don't realize what's gone till it's gone. You
I
know,
know. Yeah.
good old King Kong.
That's right.
I call it King Kong. I don't even know what that was. King Kong.
Really?
Well, that's called King Kong.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
called too.
Yeah, I probably called it King Kong a lot.
Yeah. Over here has been developed into fast food row, but
Yeah.
it used to have a drive-in, a pool, all kinds of cool stuff with car lot.
Oh, and this Wendy's used to have the buffet. And man, it was good. They had spaghetti on there, and man, that was some good spaghetti.
I forgot all about that. Yeah, they used to have good chili there too. But yeah, all kinds of good stuff that was down in this area, but now it's mostly fast food and storage apparently.
Yeah.
And a lot of memories. And then there was, to the right of the King Kong was, I recall it was A&P, I believe was the name of the grocery store. Used to go in there and, anyway, a lot of memories here, a lot of memories.
Yep.
Well, what do you know? The sign says it all. King Kong, the best foot-long hot dogs in the world.
Yeah.
Just exactly like we were talking
Tells it
about.
right there.
Yeah. They could back that claim up too. It was provable. I think there was a court case, went to Supreme Court, and they won. And here's a look from the other side of King Kong at where was Delbert's for a bit, and I believe it may have served as another restaurant at some point too, but it's not coming to me at this point. Now, before it was McDonald's, there was a restaurant here called West End Cafe, and that was many moons before I was born, but kind of neat to think that there was actually another place here at one time. And then the rest of this was where you kind of saw the drive-in, the pool, there was Mullins Ford, and then the Suzuki motorcycle shop, and all that stuff was in the same vicinity. All this stuff's been flattened, raised, and built up as something different, but that's what it was at one time.
Yeah. So what's your good memories from Richlands?
Oh man, where to even start at? Goodness, that's a good question. I just, growing up here I grew up in a good time to grow up here because a lot of things were happening. They built the malls and things were booming and going in the right direction. All the houses were coming up, so it's kind of a prosperous time, and it's kind of sad to see that drop off, but at the time there was so much optimism and good things going on, and I always treasure those memories.
Yeah. Going to the right.
Yeah, we'll go up to Hidden Valley, and this is the full tour. I'm telling you, you're seeing Richlands from top to bottom, and you couldn't be in better hands here.
I might even show you my red flower later, because Richlands is home of the best Chinese food restaurant that you will ever eat at, Red Flower. I'm very picky about my Chinese, and I love Red Flower.
Yes, you do. You are and you do.
Yes, best egg rolls, best crab ragoon. I know this.
Now, this is called the Brickyard, and that's because they used to have a brickyard here. They made bricks.
Yeah.
That's long since gone.
We didn't even get to talk about Big Lots. That's another one that's hanging in like a hair in a biscuit.
There's Don's Barbershop. That man cut my hair for 30 years probably. And I'd still like to go back. He's still doing it from what I understand. I just can't get down here to get it done.
All right.
Dawn short. A good place to get in your brawl if you bring up politics. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, you can get into World War III in that place.
I think that's probably any barber shop, though, isn't it?
It is, but that's probably Trump country. I'm just guessing if you go in there.
Yeah.
I'm taking a...
See that.
There's Hankins Cemetery, of course, and then got the food pantry here.
Mm-hmm. It's always good to see.
The Good Samaritan Food Pantry, and then we'll head up this way.
Up this way.
Going into Hidden Valley.
Your old stomping ground.
Well, stomping grounds. I lived there for a while. This place was the convenience store for Hidden Valley people.
Yep.
It was Riley's. It'll always be Riley's. You can call yourself Kent's Ridge Grocery all you want to, which is actually defunct now, but
yeah,
I've been in there many a time to get drinks,
yeah.
supplies. When that bit the dust, that was a sad day.
I know. You would think that it would, get plenty of business.
You'd think so. So here's Hidden Valley.
Hidden Valley. It's not where the ranch is made.
No, and oddly enough, it's not really so much a valley. You're going up the hill, so you think a valley down the mountain.
Yeah, that's true.
Sounds good, I guess.
You know what else sounds good?
What?
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Oh, it does sound good. That's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Late 70s, early 80s, this whole thing sprang up. And it was just one house after the other, after the other, after the other. You had the Claypool Hill Mall, the Richlands Mall, there's a lot going Claypool Hill subdivision. A lot of that went up then. Mm-hmm. There was just a lot of development going on, and I'll go by my old house.
Let's go see it. Glenwood Drive.
And then, and that's it right there with the fallen
gray.
snowman. Yeah.
Oh.
help them. Oh, my fence is gone. It was the ricketiest. That thing was in horrible shape.
Yeah.
And I would not give it up because I just love the fence.
Oh.
But now it's gone.
It's a pretty house.
Yeah, I liked it there. I had a lot of happy times.
Yeah. There's a lot of nice houses up through here, like you said.
Yeah.
You know.
We used to go up here. This was the place to go for trick or treat.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've always heard that.
Even to this day.
Did they hand out the full-size candy bars?
Oh, yeah, it was good. You know, there was a guy up here.
The Oaks did that. The Oaks is a good place if you're from Homemaker.
I'm trying to remember the place. But there was a guy up here back in the 80s that terrorized kids on Halloween. He'd dress like trying to scare you.
Oh, I love it.
And
Sounds like my kind of guy.
I know, I don't remember if it's the street. I was thinking it was, but I'm up here, don't look right. Anyway,
It's a pretty house.
we were here with me and my cousin and a fella named Tony Pugh, who just passed away just a couple months ago, sadly. He was a good dude. But we were up here and that guy did it. And my cousin and Tony backed him, jumped off I mean, it was I wish I could show you how high it was. It looked like they might kill him. I mean, they
Oh
were
my gosh.
Yeah.
Because they got so scared?
Oh, yeah, this guy was I don't know if he was dressed like a gorilla or a dog or
Oh
or
my
something.
gosh, that's hilarious.
They did it,
I
man.
love it.
They jumped off in this big bush. If it went for the bush, I don't know what would happen. All right, so by the miracle of editing, we're back here at the food pantry.
Yes.
We're going to cut down through Farmer Street.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's about time for them to put the Christmas tree up.
I'm sure they have it up already, don't they?
Well, I think it stays up all year round, but I don't know if they've lit it.
Oh.
They should do like a party for that or something.
I know, they
Celebration,
should.
Like New Year's Eve or something. with the
Christmas
lights come
tree
on.
lighting. Yeah.
I'll come up with something there.
Yeah, there you go.
Rod Curry, if you're listening out there, he's the mayor. Make this happen.
There you go.
Rod's a good dude. He's got a lot of stroke. He can make this thing happen.
Yeah.
Now, up top of this is always treacherous for me because, you know, you run into somebody easily without seeing them come and just,
Oh, I know. Yeah. Made it.
I don't know that I've ever ran into anybody there. Believe it or not, I mean,
Well,
many
good.
times I know.
Knock on wood, though.
It'd scare the Jesus out of you if it did.
I know.
Yeah, this is a long video.
Yeah, it is.
I'll make no apologies for that. This is my
No.
town, by golly. I'm gonna
Show it.
show it off.
Show it to us.
All right. So here's the rec park.
And it's kind of back out of the way, you know? Like, it's kind of
Yeah.
an odd place for a rec park.
They must have got a good deal on some land, is all I can figure out.
Must have that. I've swam in their pool. It's a pretty cool pool.
Yeah, it is. I could go back to when it was indoors.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I'm playing. It's just funny how you date stuff, like whatever sticks in your mind. Because
Yeah.
I remember the song, a couple of songs playing. One of them
Yeah.
was Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes.
Yeah.
That was a big song. And then Freeze Frame by
Yeah.
Jay Giles Band. But to the left there, inside there, is a basketball court and a lot of like a weight room. And
Down is the pool,
yeah,
which is drained.
it is
Like,
right.
well, yeah.
And it looked awful green in it.
Yeah. What little bit of water is in there is green.
Now, this field to the front of me is just horrible memories.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Why
about it.
that?
I should think about it every day of my life.
Uh-oh.
That's where I broke my ankle.
Ooh,
Shattered
your bad ankle injury.
My bad, the notorious
oh, I didn't
bad-
know
yes.
that.
Goofing
Oh.
off playing church league softball of all things.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, hitting inside the park
Bless your
home
heart.
run. And somebody somewhere screamed that I need to slide. I didn't need to. I need to find out who that was so I can blame them, hold it against them, sue them.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I slid.
Sue 'em.
Got my And this place isn't known to be the most level playing field, literally.
Yeah.
So he grabbed my ankle,
Oh, goodness.
and I looked, and that thing was twisted like 2/3 of the way backwards.
Oh.
And then it swelled up like a pumpkin. God, it was a nightmare.
Oh, gosh.
And as you know, it still gives me problems to this.
It does. Yeah, it does. Bless your heart.
And the doctor worked on me for hours.
Oh, bless your heart. How old were you?
19.
That's what I was thinking. But we got to tell everybody else, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I'm sure everybody else was wondering.
When I had surgery, the guy said it was the longest surgery he'd ever had, and
Oh,
a successful one, and then he guaranteed me I'd have arthritis problems when I got older, and it didn't bother me for years. He said, about 20 years from now, and I'll be darned, it's like clockwork. 20 years from there, I was like, oh, God, all of a sudden it's like, hey, what's that in my ankle?
gosh, it's awful.
Yeah. Yep. All right, there's the water treatment plant. I've had a tour of that when I was a youngster.
Oh, look at you.
It was cool, man. I'm telling you. I'm still talking about it today.
I know. I can
Left
hear
it
that.
fresh.
And Oprah was down this way. Not really, though. It's a joke.
Well, I don't know.
Her show covered, and, you know, all the hype was that Oprah was going to be down here, that she was interviewing, but she actually wasn't.
Her channel was.
Yeah, her channel was.
So she knows about it.
Yeah.
Do something about it.
Yeah.
Well, you see Appalachian Hemp, LLC, and that's not a commercial for them, by the way, but it used to be the White building, and they used to sell auto parts. I'm not sure what it was before then. I get a little hazy when I get down here.
You get a little hazy because you're going to cry.
I am getting emotional. Oh, yeah. No shame.
No shame.
No shame. There's the Richlands Presbyterian Church, very popular church here, and there's the Wells Fargo that used to be First Union, used to be Wachovia, used to be Dominion. And here's Herscott Funeral Home.
Yes. I always like this building up here on the right. It just looks historical,
Yeah,
like it says.
WBF White and Sons also right there. So it's Appalachian Millworks and Cabinetry. You know.
Yeah, pretty cabinets in there.
Busco Sales Company. They used to sell big, massive tires and stuff. I don't know if they're still in business or not, but it was a good business for a long time. So.
Down here is the farmer's market, police station,
It used to be the National Guard Armory.
Giovanni's Pizza.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you something
Good
really
stuff.
sad.
What?
Well, you'll see.
They're not closed, are they?
Well, I'll tell you what is closed.
What?
That building up here to the right.
Oh, yeah.
Poor old Magic Mart.
Magic Mart.
I love Magic Mart.
I know. It's so sad.
There she blows.
Yep.
And
That
here-
biscuit has crumbled.
Oh, man.
The hair is out.
There's all that biscuit. That biscuit
Yep.
is long since digested.
Yep.
There's a rescue squad back there, and he used to take karate back there. Mark Cordell was my instructor, and man, you talk about the bad news, that guy's tough. The last time I went in it, he kicked me in this breadbasket, and I went outside and threw up. Now, I never got back and got vengeance after that, but I do want to say that I
Where's
didn't
your
quit
bread
because of that.
basket?
Right up here. Right here.
Oh, like your diaphragm?
Yeah,
Oh, but the medical term is bread basket.
that's the Richlands term. It's a dorm
Oh,
term.
okay.
Now, this is the press box for Lester Groundhog Smith. And
That's a cool name.
well, I'm related to him. My mom was. And he had the coolest voice. I have a cousin that could do a dead ringer for him, and I can't do it. Oh, you know, he just had this gravelly voice. God, it was awesome. And here's the Flannery Field Grand Slam Club, and I don't know why I don't see it anywhere, but Bill Askew. Huh, that's interesting. That must be somewhere else. The announcer was Bill Askew here. So Groundhog did a lot of announcing, and then Bill Askew did a lot. And, oh, here it is. Flannery Field Bill Askew press box.
Oh, okay.
So Bill Askew would always talk about the widow wig. And he loved the Reds, if I'm not mistaken, Cincinnati Reds.
Oh,
but anyway,
cool. Yeah.
I remember him. He was an elderly guy, and he'd make his way up the steps to the press box to announce. And,
Yeah.
I mean, he made every one of them an event. I mean, he made it a big deal. And you don't really appreciate that, people. Oh, you do, but you don't realize how much of the impression they do leave on you.
Yeah.
Because he'd talk about, you know, he always had these little sayings about stuff like it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Like the monkey said, it got his tail cut off. It won't be long now.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he was an adorable guy. Thought he was he's like Santa Claus, and so I don't know. He was just when he passed away, it left a big hole. Let me just put it that way.
Aw.
And to the right was Allegheny Street, but I know that to be the Brooklyn edition, is what I've always called it. So, and you talk about bad for flooding.
Ooh.
That is bad for flooding.
Yeah, Richlands gets hit with some flooding, don't they?
They do. Little park right there is pretty neat. Me and my son go play basketball there quite a bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Many times.
Yeah.
Now, there's the old BB&T Bank, and then the Richlands Town Center. Now, the Richlands, as you can see, there's still a sign there. Richlands High School, 1929.
Yeah.
That's when it was built, I assume, because it lasted till the 50s. I'm pretty sure it was when the new high school was built, or 60s. There's the old Scotty Drugs and all that was over that way. Then we got the Cornerstone Church, Hoffman Insurance Agency, and Corner Mart. I remember it's something else, but it's not coming to me.
I know. I was trying to think of what else it was. It was a BP before, but I don't know what y'all called it.
Yeah, that's something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And here's the Exxon Cargo.
Coming up on Huddle House.
Yes.
That's fairly new. Well, I still think of it as newish.
I want to go across the street here and down this way because we got to show the Tabernacle.
Yeah.
This is a big residential area too. This is Richlands Tabernacle, a pretty large church.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of tabernacle faith people up this way.
And they leave an impression, of course, because they, certainly they dress, certain style and that kind of thing.
Yes, more traditional.
Yes. Oh, it's pretty bad to flood down here one time too, and I don't know if they fixed that or it just hadn't happened in a while, but.
It says Richlands Christian Academy.
Yes.
All right.
Pulled that loop and we're back to the Huddle House.
That's right.
There are a lot of one-way streets here in Richlands, I gotta tell you. There's a big King Cone sign. We'll stop there, of course.
Yes.
And I'd like to shimmy up there and steal that sign, though.
I know. But you kind of would hate to see it gone from here, right?
Yeah.
This is always a tricky place.
There used to be a grocery store there, too. It says A&P was what it was. And then there was a Piggly Wiggly up here in the high school. And I just want to say Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly, I know. It's cool thing to say.
So, here's where it gets really tricky, super tricky for me. There was a Ramrod Men's Shop was down here, and then you had, there was Flannery Theater. Goodness, there's Horton's, and it was a retail store.
Song's still up for Horton's.
Yeah.
It's a barber shop out there.
A couple of other old buildings down here, and I'm wanting to think there was a jeweler down here possibly. I know that Al Land had a place, and he would stand on his head to please you. I need to say that anyway. Just because that motto needs to be remembered. I'll stand on my head to please you, and he'd do a headstand while filming his commercials. It's pretty cool.
So there's the bowling alley.
Yes, the bowling alley that you have said that you played in.
Yeah, I bowled there, yeah.
I bowled there too, and
Lots of fun.
the building beside it's Henry's Garage, but I want to think one time it may have been Ball Brothers. No, Ball Brothers was down here to the right, I believe, and it was demolished, I believe. Well, my memory ain't what it used to be.
Boy, it ain't, is it? All that Diet Coke.
All that Diet Cokes have ruined it.
Yeah.
But it's now the business incubator, it was. The National Bank. And there's the Richlands Professional Building, which we'll have to get a better look at because you can't see it from here. Okay, what you see before you now is the National Bank. It used to be Richlands National Bank, and it was made famous by Grady Dalton, a revered local banker, whereas I was a reviled local banker. A subtle but important distinction. And here was Overbay and Brown Furniture Store. And that where you see the second location of El Burrito Loco.
Mm-hmm. And it used to be Elmar's.
It used to be Elmar's, and it used to be the Mullins Professional Building.
Yeah.
And it was built during the era of Dallas, if you remember that show.
Oh, yeah, it's a cool building.
Yeah, that's why I can't imagine what those windows would cost to replace, but
Oh, yeah.
I used to work there. I worked for Covenant Coal when our offices were on, third, fourth, fifth floor, or something like that. And
Okay.
it's kind of neat to come up in there.
Yeah,
But it's now a landmark in its own right.
that's true.
See it from here.
Yes, and the railway depot. I say let's eat there.
I say let's do it. All right, we're going to try out the Railway Depot.
Yes.
Now, I haven't never been here before, and I don't think you have either, have you?
I have not.
But this is kind of a newer place. We're going to check it out in the old Rexall drugstore, and we're going to give it a go. Had a couple of viewers, Johnny and Jaquetta, I hope I'm saying her last name, or her first name right, Owens, that suggested checking this place out, so we're going to do it today.
Yes, let's get in here and get some grub.
Yes. All right, so we came into The Railway Depot. Now this used to be an old Rexall drugstore.
Okay.
Yeah. And now, you wouldn't believe this, I had a hand in getting this thing remodeled.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I would believe it.
These floors were covered up. I mean, some people were crazy back in the day. Can you imagine?
Oh, no.
We discovered that and the ceiling too. If you look at that ceiling, you just don't see nothing like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like finding gold.
Oh, yeah.
So we did that, and then it is absolutely beautiful. And I'm telling you, and I appreciate Reba for letting us take a look around. That's all drugs. It's gold still here. You don't see that anymore, do you? Now back to the their food to the test. That's the key, right?
That's right.
You excited?
Yes.
Now look at that look.
Anytime I have food, you know.
I know you're pouring that ranch on like an artist.
I know. All that talk about Hidden Valley.
I'm proud of you for eating well. I can't say the same for me, but by golly, it looks good.
It's not that bad. Turkey sandwich.
True.
I'm just sick of turkey.
Yeah, that's that is funny. Yeah. I guess I'm not over it yet.
Alrighty, now as you look straight ahead, where we just ate was the Railway Depot, which is to the far left. Now, hopefully some old timers from Richlands can help spell me out where I go wrong, which I surely will. But, okay, that was, as we said, the Rexall. Then to the right of it, on the upper level, was J.C. Montgomery Insurance. And I know that because my mom worked there. Below there, I can't quite recall, but to the slight right, there was Star Theater. And then to the right in that tannish building was a Ben Franklin 5 and Dime store. And then you can tell by looking at that building it's been built up on. It originally was 2 stories, and now it looks like it's 3. And to the right of that, at the far end of that building, it was a Brits Hotel at one time. Okay. Moving up to the other building, we've got Jackson's Drugs, which was a local institution for a long, long time. And then you had Curry's. And finally, the building on the very extreme far right was Amor Brothers. I know there were a lot of other things there, and please, those who know better, help fill me in.
This mural is fantastic, and this is the first time I've stopped and took a real close look at it.
Yeah.
Man, it really captures the railroad and the coal mining history here in Richlands.
Yeah.
But I didn't know this. I love this from seeing this Ripley's. They actually set a record for 183 loaded coal cars hauled by one engine.
How cool
back in
is
1929, yeah. Is that not crazy?
Yeah.
It's on the Clinch Valley line. And then, of course, it has a bunch of other railroad things, and it's got Edward Mullins trucking. I mean, it's got all this detail, the true stuff. That's what I love to see about it. And it's got certificate of marriage. We got even a letter here sent to Charlie Adair. It's funny, that's just using local people and names.
Cool.
I just absolutely love it. And then you'll see up there on that coal card, it shows Joe Ridge Coal was kind of cut off a little bit. But looks like a piece of their script.
Yeah. I was looking at the map.
Yeah, so neat. A lot of
Very
detail. Done by Ellen Elms. She was a local legend here too as well. She's done if you see great artwork, it's either Ellen Elms or you see sculptures and stuff, and it's Johnny Hagerman. They're just two that locally known to be great.
It's fantastic.
So what you see behind us is the newly renovated section foreman house.
Yeah.
It's one of the very few that still exist, and this thing was in ruins for years and years and years and years and years, my whole life until very recently. And now you can see how glorious it's been brought back. And it dates back to circa 1890.
Yes.
But my understanding is they're going to put a small museum in and certain things like that.
It's
But
beautiful.
I'm just so glad to see that this is a finished product now.
Me too.
Been talked about for years.
Yes.
Another look at the unlit Christmas tree. But it won't be long now.
I know. I'm excited.
I am too.
Some businesses pulling back out.
I know the one to the left there used to be Rod Curry's. It was called Curry's. I guess his dad owned it too.
There's Classic Closet and Jammin' Ale. I know all about them.
Yeah.
Those places.
Richlands Florist used to be there. There's Post Office, Chamber of Commerce, the library,
Yes.
and
The libraries down Suffolk Street.
yes, we'll take another harder look at that.
Okay.
We'll take a little ride down Suffolk.
Yes.
Show some of these buildings in closer detail in a minute. This says Becky's Fine Jewelry. I seem to remember it always being Becky's Jewel Box, but I may be just making that up in my head. It was Becky Roderick, and unfortunately, yeah, it was called Becky's Jewel Box. It was established in 1962. Okay. And I remember going in there and buying things. I think she just passed away not long ago, Becky Roderick, but she was a great lady and just a local institution. She was the Richlands Mini Pearl. And over here's the library. And this, most recently, was a law firm. I wanted to say at one time it was a funeral home. And then, to the right, you can still see the sign up in the sky, but it's Farm Bureau. Can't tell you how many times my mom got a rump roast out of there. So. It says Brian Looney, but it used to be Dr. Lalonde to me, so. And of course, Helen and Nancy's down at the end. A closer look at the Farm Bureau, which is again right across from her Scott Funeral Home, the Wells Fargo, and this is a closer look at the Helen and Nancy's. I remember going in there as a small boy many, many times. Drop through here and see the glorious town of Richlands Town Hall, which used to be the even more glorious Maddie Williams Hospital.
Oh, okay.
Before that, the Hotel Richlands. So.
Yes.
Yeah, here we go. So.
I don't think I knew that that's where Maddie Williams was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about it.
Source of much controversy.
Really?
Because, oh yeah, people wanted to keep that hospital. And back in the time, I was just a youngster, so I didn't give a flip. Mm-hmm. And now I'd have been chained to the door with everybody else. And
yeah.
Like you couldn't turn. I mean, it was a grand building.
It was beautiful. Yeah, I've seen all kinds of pictures.
Yeah. And this, I mean, yeah, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's pretty.
Well, exactly.
Well,
We're told, so it's exactly. Yeah, it's pretty. It's nice. It's real nice.
And you would have a really good view of the Christmas tree that they light up on the hill over there.
Yes, which it's almost time for them to
Christmas Tree Hill. That's what it's called,
yes,
right?
Yes, it is. I'm going to twist it that way, but I don't know that you can see much on this video, do you?
No, but it's about right there.
Not to scale with your finger, but yeah.
No.
And this is the town hall, of course, that replaced the Maddie Williams. A little bit closer look at that. It is a really nice structure. I got to admit that, even though I still wish the Maddie was still here. I don't think I'm being biased in saying that this is one of the better coal mining memorials you'll see. It's amazing, especially this statue. It looks like he just had a hard day at work. He's coming home. With his old dinner bucket. And even a possum light. And of course a pig. Great detail on this. Well, after what feels like an hour-long search, I finally found the brick that I bought for my dad. For my kids, Sean, Brett, and Will, they misspelled Sean Brett's middle name, but that's okay. No grudges. Of course, these were the bricks that you could help sponsor look at the memorial.
Okay.
I got to get you to high school.
Yes. You got to get me the classy closet because we didn't get to talk about that enough. It's one of my favorite places to shop.
The old Free Press building. It used to be a hotel. We'll talk more about that in a minute too.
Yes. Tazewell County Mercantiles. I have not been in there, but it looks really nice.
Yes.
Yes. CD Salon. I hear that's a great place.
Yeah.
Check out.
So this building right here, most recently was the Richlands Free Press. Mm-hmm. And it just went out a few years back. Used to be of course, a local newspaper. And as it said, it was free. You don't see that anymore. But before that, it was a hotel, and I'll get into that in a minute. But also, I want to mention, I always called it Ralph's Pool Hall. It is Ralph's Bar and Grill, or Ralph's. It's Ralph's. That's all you need to know. And they had some of the best hamburgers in there.
Yeah.
And for me, I love grilled cheese. Nobody's ever made a better grilled cheese than they made it at Ralph's. And they used to have this place in back where people would go. You could go back there and play pool and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it almost operated like a speakeasy. I remember my parents not letting me go back in there because it was, one of those places where it's for adults only, not for children. So.
Yeah.
But they did have a pinball machine out here. And I still remember to this day, it said, it was like a cowboy theme, and it said, "Stop talking and start chalking." I don't know what that meant, but it was still. Now, this empty spot to the left
of the Free Press. There used to be a Dairy Queen there.
Really?
Yeah. And they ended up moving the building. And I've never seen this done anywhere else. I know it can be done. I heard it being done. But I remember seeing it then that they lifted this building up out of there and moved it up to Cedar Bluff.
Huh.
Yeah. But, oh, it was a great little Dairy Queen. I used to love going there and get something to eat.
You'd think it'd be less expensive to just build a new building.
Well, that's what you think, because it wasn't exactly in its prime then. I remember it being a little bit weathered, but I don't know. We must have got a good deal on the mover. I don't know.
There's a bird up there looking down at us.
It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a bird, right?
It's a couple of birds. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird, isn't it?
Gotten in the building.
Yeah. I hate to see that glass busted because that building will not last if they
I
don't
know.
get that fixed. You get water in and it's a doom.
Yep.
So hopefully this ain't one of those things somebody sees this video down the line years from now and think, oh, I remember that building was there.
I know.
Sad. Hope something's done with it.
Now, it's funny that we should see the birds because this was actually the Eagle Hotel. And if you look to the top, and there's a really gray, in that gray part, I don't know if it shows up on the video, but it is an Eagle. And it was served as a hotel for a long time. And then, of course, became the Free
I always
Press.
thought this building on the left was really cool. Elizabeth Manor.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just looks really cool.
And this was the old Lavender's place. And he sold a bunch of outdoor stuff, like kayaks and so forth. And he once told me, too, I went in there and he was acting like that they were going to, he was joking, but he said that there's going to be a Chuck E. Cheese over here beside.
And there's Vandy's to the right.
Or V&V.
Yeah,
It's known now, but people like me will never not call it Vandy's.
Yeah, it's good food.
And the Roma we just passed was a Dairy Queen, and I mean, it changed hands a million times after Dairy Queen.
Yeah, oh yeah. Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, and there was the old Piggly Wiggly's, now Dollar General store.
Randy's Gateway Drug, Clinch River Trading Post. Good businesses over there.
Oh yeah.
El Burrito Loco.
Oh, big look, my son, I've not come to Richlands in months that I haven't eaten there.
Yeah.
Son loves it.
Yeah.
He loves it, loves it. And it's an auction house now to the right we just passed, but it was one time a Sears, like you go in there and do orders and come pick them up.
Yeah.
It's almost like a post office, basically.
Aw.
And probably a few little things in there, but not much. Yeah. And here's Jones Chapel Church, and then there was, for a very short time, it's probably before your time, I'm sure it was, there was McLindy's, is what it was called. It was a restaurant that was cross between McDonald's and Wendy's.
Oh,
And
okay.
McLindy's.
That's funny.
Then McLindy Burger, and I'm pretty sure it was like square.
Oh, yeah. Like the Wendy's burger.
And my mom and dad would come up here to walk the track.
Yeah, it's a
And,
good track out
yeah,
here.
and they would, I would go in there and play arcade games, Miss Pac-Man or Pac-Man. Go there and play. So that's my memories of McLindy's.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it was so cute. And then, of course, this is Jones Chapel Road, and we just passed a cemetery that's up through here and the church. And here he is, the home of the Richlands Blue Tornado.
Yes. Saw that R, that famous Richlands R, a couple of places. Are you even from Richlands if you don't have a Richlands R on the back of
Lightning
your
R, whenever
vehicle?
it was too
The
cold.
Lightning R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too cold, but I got a Richlands t-shirt on under here. Just
Yeah.
for symbolism or something.
Yeah.
Strength and power. Here's the old middle school. And elementary school. So you've got it all in one handy place, but we'll show the football field. You got to show that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll pull up and around the bend.
Come on around the bend.
Yes. So they still play their basketball games, everything here in the middle school gym.
Yeah.
There's the elementary school. And come circle back around to the high school.
So all right here together. I bet that makes a hectic pickup schedule.
It does.
Yeah.
It does indeed.
And little birthday parties over at that playground at the elementary school. You can see on the big bleachers there. Or not really bleachers, stadium. See?
Yeah. I'll circle back around here and I'll show the high school again. 'Cause we're not at daylight, it feels like.
I know, even though it's early-ish still. But
Yeah. I guess I'm trying to get more of a level-on shot of this.
yeah.
Richlands High School. Spent many a day there in my
Yes.
lifetime.
I'm sure.
I
Worst
wish I
8 years of your life, wasn't
Worst
it?
8 years of my life. I got out 7.5. Took summer school.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Lord. Boy, it's funny to see that. I wish we could walk the halls in there.
I know. I felt the same with my high school too. You see Ernie Hicks Stadium, that's what I was trying to say earlier.
And here's Ernie Hicks himself, the bust of him. And there it is, dedicated to Coach KM Ernie Hicks.
Yep.
And I think the bust does him justice. It looks a lot like the pictures I've seen of him. They need to put one right beside him before too long for Greg Mance. Who won all the state championships.
Yes.
And had a powerhouse for years and years and years.
That's right.
And as you can see behind me, here's the field and at Ernie Hicks Stadium, where the Richlands Blue Tornado won the 2006 and the 1992 state championships. They came in runner-up 4 other times, and just legendary teams, especially for that a stretch of about 20 years. They were the team in Southwest Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and they even had a guy go to the NFL who I graduated with, Mike Compton.
Yeah.
And they all played on this field right here, and it is a great source of pride for Richlands. You can't come here and not talk about the couple of state championships they won.
Yeah.
And well, you can see right now in the middle of the dead of winter, there's somebody out here practicing. So
yeah.
It shows you the dedication that there is in Richlands.
It's a nice field.
It is.
We got something in common. EMAT's field.
Yeah, they sponsored the turf.
Yes. And I always think it's really cool that the 4-lane is like right up behind there, because you're driving by on Friday night and you see all those Friday night lights.
Yeah, and then all that whole row up the Jones Chapel Road. If it's a really crowded game, there'll be people up there watching the game.
Oh yeah.
They come in, they'll sit up there and watch the game from the hillside.
Oh yeah.
And man, when they've had some good teams, it will be all the way up the side of that road and up on the main highway, and the whole 9 yards will be covered with fans watching.
Oh yeah.
Passionate fans.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're out here in front of the Gateway Shopping Center now, and it's a big piece of history too here in Richlands. And speaking of history, I want to thank George Brown and Pat Rickey. Now, I took liberties with some of your pictures and information. I may have borrowed them without returning them. I may have stolen them. You might even say that, but I do thank you for the work that you put into that I was able to use to put this video together, and I want to acknowledge that here. But this is the Gateway Shopping Center. A big institution is the Randy's Gateway Drug.
Yeah.
And the deli. Now I remember going in there and eating grilled cheese sandwiches and getting your Coke with cherry put in that and all that stuff. And then there's all kinds of different stores that have been here. And there was a Montgomery Ward at one point, and of course Piggly Wiggly was at the side of it. So there has been a WWMA. All kinds of things were up here in this area. Now it's, as you can see, they've got the Italian Village, which is a local institution too.
Yes.
It's moved up here.
You've won many a free pizza there, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I'm like one of the luckiest people in there when I pick numbers. I don't know what it is. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this look at my hometown.
Yes.
Richlands, Virginia.
I know. I've been here a million times, but it's always different with a homeboy, so.
It is. It's a little bit more emotional and a little bit more, like you were saying earlier, that it just pulls things out of you that you don't really think about.
Yeah.
Unless you're specifically going to look around and bring back memories. So.
Yeah, exactly right. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel.
All right, and we will. See you on down the road.